friends.
Okay.
How about non-alcoholic
Mocktails.
cocktails? What services do you provide, and how can people contact you?
Right, okay. So the first question.
Anything
Are
else?
we doing that? These are the questions going to be in the...
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
When we're live in 3.5 minutes.
Oh, so we've got a while yet.
Loads of time. Have you been on Marlow yet?
I've been on Marlow on Monday.
How did that go?
Really well. I was on there for an hour.
Really?
So yeah, that was a long one. I was only expecting 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I had like my first 15 minutes still, and I was like, oh, am I still on after this song? They went, yeah, you're on for the whole show. I was
Oh
like,
my
oh
God.
wow. So I was on there for an hour.
Brilliant.
So, because I'd never done radio before that, and you sort of get a bit nervous about it because you know you're going out to a lot of people.
It's just you and me having a chat.
That's the way
That's what it is.
feels like in the end. When once you start going,
Exactly.
it becomes normal anyway.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So okay, so we'll get you on straight after this song, and we'll just see how long it goes.
Cool. Lovely jumping.
So the only bit of advice is don't try and jump ahead of me.
Yeah.
Don't come straight out with, well, I can do this and that, and contact me on my Facebook page, because it leaves me with nowhere to go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just, those are all the main things though. Is there anything else particularly you want to cover?
Not really. I mean, it'd be good to talk about my social media side of everything, because my social media side is really big with it. You could talk about my journey behind becoming a mixologist. They're probably the main ones, really.
Okay. When you say social media, do you do? Have you got little videos of how to make different cocktails?
Not yet. That's one thing I'm going to be getting into, and getting a YouTube channel up soon.
Okay.
So I'm going to be doing flaring videos, how to make cocktail videos.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. So far I've got Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Okay.
My next one's YouTube.
Okay.
So just trying to hit all markets, really.
Yeah. And whereabouts do you live?
Maidenhead.
Okay.
It's only 20 minutes.
Yeah. Have you listened to Wycombe Sound before?
I haven't, no. I didn't even listen to Marlow before I went on there, but now I've been on there, you tune in more often, because you like to see what kind of people they do get in. And
I was saying thank you to our listeners earlier. We relaunched our website on the 1st of May.
Yeah.
And in the 6 days, the first 6 days, we had 2,000 people doing Listen Again. That's not even just listening live, that's Listen Again.
Mm-hmm.
So, so we're really pleased with that. Okay, we've got about a minute to go.
Well, that's pretty good. The thing is, people don't think of radio as advertising in a way, but it's such a good one to do.
That is Sister Sledge and Lost in Music. The time is 10 minutes past 12. Welcome. If you've just joined us this morning, you're listening to Wycombe Sound 106.6 FM, and it's Pippa with you through until 1 o'clock today, when Amanda is then in the hot seat. But we've got 50 minutes between now and then, and this morning we've had a bit of a leisure theme weaving through the programme. We started off talking about sport for leisure. We were talking about netball. If you missed it, you can listen again on the website. Then we talked about walking holidays, which might be the top of the leisure list for some of us. Well, now we're taking a different look at leisure, and your leisure time might be taken up by going out. It might be fine dining, it might be wine tasting. Well, how about cocktails? Maybe cocktails are your thing, and I've got a cocktail expert with me now, and it's Jay Dance. Good afternoon, Jay.
Good afternoon.
Thanks very much for coming in. So you are a mixologist.
I am.
I thought a mixologist was a DJ.
No.
No.
Complete opposite.
So tell me what a mixologist is to start with.
Well, a mixologist is someone that creates cocktails. someone who has a passion and knowledge for something. But as an overall thing, as a mixologist, you're also an entertainer.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when we talk about creating cocktails, then it's not just about mixing all the cocktails that we've ever heard of. You know, my mind's gone blank now. But all of those famous cocktails.
Yeah.
It's about creating new combinations.
Yeah, exactly. Creating new recipes, but also trying them out on people before to make sure these are good creations. I mean, I've got a cocktail book with over 200 recipes in that I've created, which I will publish within the next couple of years. I'm hoping to. So yeah, it's, as a mixologist, there's a lot to it. It's not just turning up, making a few cocktails.
Okay.
You've got to be able to do the flaring with it to put on a show.
Okay, so what do you mean by flaring? Is that the chucking the bottles up in the air?
Yes, exactly. So flipping the bottles up, catch them on your hands, behind your head, throwing them to people, all that sort of stuff, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. How did you get into all of this?
Well, when I was 18, I went away on holiday with my brother to Greece, and I got friendly with a bar, and they asked me if I wanted a job. So I took the job, and I rang my dad up, and I said, look, I'm not coming home. And he was like, you are? I was like, I'm not. So I ended up staying out in Greece for 6 months with this club. And after that, I went back home, and I sort of thinking, what do I really want to do with my life? So I went off to bar school, BAS bar school in Watford. Studied there, got my diploma in cocktails. And then I went back off to Greece to work in a cocktail bar as a mixologist, and I was assistant manager. And yeah, it started from there really. I started doing the cocktails there, and I met a woman, moved to Sweden, started working out in Sweden, and then a couple of years ago I moved back, and I took a year out of it, and this year I started out my own business. So.
Okay, so you mentioned, just to rewind slightly, that you went to bar school in Watford. What sort of things do you learn there? You know, obviously you're learning about making drinks, but what else do you learn to get that diploma?
A lot. You have to learn over 200 cocktails, first of all, to even pass. I mean, there's people in my class from Brazil, Norway, Hungary, and you're not guaranteed to pass. And it does cost a lot to get your diploma. So if you fail, that's a lot of money wasted. But yeah, you learn like 200 cocktails, you learn bits of flaring, but you learn most of it after bar school, when you're working in bars, working around people in the same industry as you, so you pick up tips from other people. That's the reason why I went abroad and worked, so I could pick up new recipes, new methods, and I could put everything together into my own business. So I've got a lot of skills from when I've worked around Europe to go into this business. So
Okay.
I've got my perks.
So what are the basics? You know, you have all your things which are based on a martini, and you have all the things which are based on a champagne drink or a drink that's mixed with wine. And what are the basic building blocks of cocktail making?
What do you mean by the basics exactly?
Well, I've just named two there. I've named a martini and a champagne cocktail, but there's two different things, and there's lots of different versions of those two things.
Yeah.
You know, what other sort of basic recipes are there that...
There's, you know, you could take, say, a mojito, for example. You can make a normal mojito, or you can make a royal mojito, or something similar, which is like shaken mojito, basically. So you're double straining it into a champagne flute, topping up champagne. There's all different methods to each drink. Normally with a drink, say a mojito or something, and then you add, normally there's an extra name on the end of them, like royal, or there'll be a different word, for example, and those you can relate to the cocktail, so you know what ingredient goes in them. So, but there's other methods like shaken, blended, straight, muddled. So there's probably about 8 types of actual drinks, methods within the drinks you need to remember when making these. So.
Okay, so if you take a recipe that normally says you would shake this cocktail, and of course when we think of cocktails, that's the first thing that springs to mind, isn't it? Is the barman in the Hawaiian shirt with the shaker. So if you take a drink which all the recipes say this should be shaken, and you stir it instead.
Well, there
What
is.
difference does it make?
It makes a lot of difference. Some people, for example, with like vodka and gin martinis, some like it stirred and some like it shaken. Like James Bond, shaken not stirred, and what have you. But it does make a difference when shaking a normal drink like a French martini, espresso martini, and so on. You normally shake until the shaker is literally just freezing cold, so you can feel the ice coming through. That's when you know you've shaken enough. So, yeah, the method within the drink matters a lot. A lot of people shake drinks and put it straight into a rock glass over ice, which I wouldn't do. I put it into a martini glass or a V glass, and normally put ice within the martini glass before and freeze the glass, so it's extra cold as it goes in. So yeah, there's a lot of different methods that other bartenders use, but I have my own way also.
What are the trends at the moment?
The trends of the cocktails?
Yeah.
Well, mojito is obviously very big.
Okay, so what's in a mojito?
Light rum, mint, lime, sugar syrup. A lot of bartenders use brown sugar or just normal sugar, but if you're using syrup, you can lose the sort of, you know, when you're drinking a mojito, and you probably had one with brown sugar or something before, and you get the lumps of sugar coming through the straw. I don't like that, so I use the syrups. I don't use any, I don't use any granulated sugar within any of my drinks. I normally make them all myself. The syrups, the almond syrup, passion fruit syrup. I melt all the sugars down myself and make it all from fresh. There's a lot of mocktails are coming in.
Yes, so let's talk about mocktails, because I am teetotal.
Right, okay.
And, I will go to a nice restaurant, a nice bar, where they have a cocktail recipe, a list. And more often than not, there are no mocktails, or the only mocktails will be just a load of juices blended together. And, so many of us, when we go for an evening out, we might be driving, we might have work the next morning, you don't want to have that effect of lots of alcohol for whatever reason. And the only alternative is, a Coke or a Diet Coke or Pepsi or other, carbonated drink. So mocktails, I think, is an enormous opportunity to people like you.
No, it is. Yeah, a lot of people, when they make their mocktails, are literally just using juices, but there's so much more you can do to it to add flavours, like sour mixes, daiquiri mixes, which is like sugar syrups mixed with lemon juices and lime juices to build a base, and then you add your juices. You can add other elements to the drinks to make them taste like actual alcoholic drinks, so you don't feel like you're missing out within a cocktail.
Exactly. You want something that's grown up and really tasty, don't you?
Exactly.
There's a lot of, you're talking about a lot of sugar and syrup, so they're very sweet, a lot of these drinks, aren't they?
Yeah. You can make it less sweet or less sour, adding more lemon or lime or sugar and so on, so you can get the balance right. If someone comes up to me and says, that's too sour, I know how to sweeten it up. If something's too sweet, you can add more sour. So there's ways of getting around it, of making the perfect drink.
Okay. So what sort of services then do you provide?
Well, I hold cocktail parties for people, so I'll go around your house for as many or as little people as you have. I also do mocktail parties, so if you don't drink alcohol, I can do the mocktail parties. I also do them for children's parties as well. I do date nights, so I'll go around your house for an hour and teach you and your other half for an hour how to make cocktails. I do lessons. So, if you're looking to get into it and get a sort of knowledge behind mixology before you go and work in a bar and so on, I can teach you. I also do gift vouchers. So, if it's come to Christmas or you've got a birthday coming up, you can purchase them from me and I can sort you out.
Okay, brilliant. And now you've got a website and you're quite big on social media as well, so tell me a bit about that.
The Facebook side of it is my biggest side. That's what I started on. But I do a lot of competitions within Facebook. Last month I gave away 2 free date nights, and they're not cheap either. So I gave them away. And all you have to do really is share my pages to get entered into these competitions. So yeah, and my Instagram side is just more visual, so people can see the drinks and people can see what's going on within my business. And the Twitter side, I've literally just made up So it's more to get out to, it's just another market to hit really, so I can sort of...
Which, so you've created 200 cocktails.
Yeah.
Which one are you most proud of?
Probably my first ever one that I created is within basketball. It's called the Vajayjay. So I created that one. I've tested it on about 10 people, and they all love it.
Mm-hmm. What's the most complicated drink? What's the one with the most different ingredients in?
There's quite a few. I mean, I like the VIP mojitos, which is passion fruit mojito, basically with passion fruit syrups and so on. It's not the most complicated, but it's definitely one of the most tasteful. Anything with passion fruit normally is, you know, most tastiest. I do like the royal mojito, which, like I said, you make a mojito with it in a shaker without soda and double strain it and top up with champagne. So that one's really nice, but it's really strong. So if you have a couple of them, you do feel it.
Yeah. And do you feel that you have a responsibility to look out for your customers if you think they've had too much?
Definitely. If I can see someone's too drunk, I won't serve them. It's just, you get told that within bar school, you know, if someone's too drunk, you don't serve them. At the end of the day, you know, it's your job, and also if people are falling all over the place after drinking these, you know.
It's your social responsibility.
Exactly. It looks bad on you also if you're still serving someone that's had one too many. So.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Okay, Jay, so tell us your website and your Facebook page.
My Facebook is @MixingLink. Twitter is mixing_link. Instagram is @MixingLinkOwner. And my website is mixinglink.co.uk.
Terrific. Okay, and so you're available to come and go along to people's parties and so on. All these different things. They're all listed on the website as well. Well, very best of luck with it.
Thank you very much.
It's great to meet you, and next time we have a party here at Wycombe Sound, then you'll be top of the list.
Thank you for having me. Awesome.
How was that? Okay.
Yeah, it was all right.